Hey, it's me, ABSD, and welcome to the Inner Dialogue Podcast. The Inner Dialogue Podcast is a space full of grace and forgiveness for self, love for self. It's not about perfection, it's about growth. And I found myself repeating that today because I have been inviting in graceful, hard conversations. Hard is not the right word. What is the word that I am looking for? Conversations that challenge me. And the person who challenges me the most is my loving, patient, sexy ass husband, Nicholas. And he challenges me. And it's so awesome. And it stretches me. But and I'm learning how to love myself through that. I know how to love myself through that. I do love myself through that. I'm not learning how to do that anymore. I do it. Y'all, I am in the heart of a 6-week women guidance facilitator program. And I will be certified as a women's guidance facilitator at the end of the six weeks. And part of the program is creating an offering of what you want to give the world. What do you want to teach? What do you want to do? And that can look and be a lot of different things for each person. And I'm so excited to hear about what other women are going to be offering. I'm going to share with you the story of how I got to my theme, unlimited love, and what that looks like in my life. What that looks like in my life. So, last week, I was processing maybe my biggest childhood trauma that happened to me in therapy. And yeah, I think that was the last one. I think there will be times where things trigger me, that there will be deeper healing that happens. But all of the big T traumas, I was reflecting tonight of just how amazing my childhood was. Y'all, I drew the fucking lottery win on my family, on my childhood, where I grew up, how I grew up, the people and community that I grew up around me. And I am learning how to speak about that. I'm learning how to share my story. And this podcast has kind of been a piece of that story of me processing some of these events in my life. I know that I have spoken about processing in this space. Like, this is my inner dialogue. Y'all, like, you're essentially getting to be a part of my inner thoughts, my inner brain. It's like a fucking audio diary that you're just getting to listen to on the internet. Like, what? That's so cool. And also fucking terrifying to be the person who is doing that and sharing these truths and figuring out how to share them and not always saying the right thing and learning about what all of this means and how it all fits into my life and my heart and who I am and what is ABSD and who is ABSD, and to get to know me, because I've still been getting to know myself. And it all ties back to unlimited love. Yeah, so I think it's the last big T. And I brought it up in therapy last week, and I'm not ready to share what that event was in this space because there's still more work to be done. It is still very fresh in the sense that I'm still tending the wound. I have an awesome therapist, and she gave me the analogy of I have to tend to the wound and change the bandages and like make sure that I am taking care of it. And so last week after therapy, I had an oil change appointment, and I had booked it right before therapy because when I come into town, because I still go to therapy in 45 minutes, 50 minutes away, in town and in Denver proper. And so I go into Denver proper once a week, and I try to do everything that I need to do in the city on that day. So I'm not driving back and forth a ton because my life is no longer in that area. But therapy is, and I really love my therapist. And so I was having some resistance on going to therapy, and bringing this up in therapy had been something I'd wanted to do for several weeks, but I was traveling so much. And when I was in therapy for a couple of weeks, I was just talking about the travels because I missed 3 weeks of therapy, which is I love going to therapy. I go to therapy weekly. So normally when I travel, I miss 1 week, but I, in a month, essentially missed 3 weeks and had like one in between. And yeah, so I brought it up, and we talked about it. I cried a lot. I cried pretty immediately. I told her as soon as I sat down, I'm like, I have resistance in being here today. She asked me, like, do you normally feel that way? I'm like, no, I love coming to therapy. I love going and sitting and processing my shit and talking about it with someone I trust and respect and love as a human being. And like, I love therapy. I love therapy. I love the outlet therapy is for me. And so after therapy, I went and to my car appointment. And when I go and get my car done, serviced, I normally bring work things or a book or something to do while I'm waiting. And I'll go pick up lunch from this Thai place that I really like that's nearby, that's walking distance. I can drop my car off and then go walk and pick up my lunch and come back. And this time I didn't have any things with me. So I just walked there and ate lunch there, which was really nice. I just sat outside and sat at a table by myself and just gave myself space to breathe and to just be. I got a pot of hot tea. It was really nice. It was really nice. And then as I get back to the car dealership, one of the guy who helped service my car came out and said, one of our technicians cut his hand open really bad and has to go to emergent care. So it's going to take longer than normal. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he comes back a few minutes later. He's like, oh, also, wait, no, I'm telling the story wrong. Long story short, my oil change. No, this is the story. ABS, do trust yourself. Yeah. He comes back a second time and is like, actually, I found a warranty on your account and you have 20 free oil changes. So you don't have to pay for this. And I'm like, cool. So I didn't have to pay for my oil change, which was so nice. And then I just carried this really heavy energy with me over the next couple of days. As I was processing, I did forgiveness practices and forgiving myself and forgiving the other people involved, and just like hugging those people in that situation and like sending them so much love and knowing that we all were just doing our best. And sometimes, because we're human, our best is not good enough. It doesn't mean that we're not good enough. It just means that sometimes our best affects other people negatively. And God does the rest. right? We just can do our best and God does the rest. And I trust that and I have faith in that and I have love and I root in that every day. Okay, back to my story. So, my heavy energy. I canceled 3 events last week, which is so unlike me. And I was like, I planned too much for myself this week. I need more time for me. So I canceled an event Wednesday night. We had tickets to go to the Eras tour movie and we refunded those. And then with the same organization from Wednesday, I canceled on Friday. And I'm really proud of myself for honoring what I needed and like giving myself more time to meditate and to process and to like lean into what I needed. I'm very proud I honored myself in the way that I did. And it was really the perfect container to process this event that had happened in my life. And Saturday, I was on Facebook Marketplace a few days prior and saw like a singing bowl and a crystal and a candle holder for $20. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go buy that. That's a great way to start this spiritual journey with like actual items I can use to help enhance my experience. And so I went and picked that up on Saturday and it was snowing. And he also came out and he said, I actually have an incense stick holder that I'm throwing in there too, because I'm getting rid of it also. I forgot to put it in the picture. And I would have not had tried incense on my own, but I went to the spiritual store in town and on Monday bought some incense, which was really cool, and bought another stone. And then I realized that last year, I remembered that I had this bag of crystals that I had uncovered when I was car camping in South Dakota last year. I was boondocking and I had pulled up to my campsite and it was dusk because it was no longer summer. This was 2022. And I was trying to get there before it became dark and I just barely made it. And so I'm sitting outside with a blanket and my Subway sandwich, and all I can see is the darkness. And so when I woke up in the next morning, that's a story for another time. That's a really good story. It's a really good story, but not the story I'm telling. And when I woke up the next morning, I didn't realize there was just like a fucking I was parked in front of a mountain and I climbed up to the like nearest ridge near me. And as I'm standing up there and the sun is beating onto my face, and the night before I had had a spiritual experience with the moon and God communicating to me through the moon. And I look down and in the ground are crystals. And I just start like they're just like sitting there on the ground in front of me. So many more than I was even able to take in my 2 hands. And I truly did not realize how many pieces I had brought with me because they've been in a bag in the back of my car for over a year until we moved here. There just wasn't a space for them in the apartment. And for some reason, I just left them in my car. And now I actually I set them out on my new piece of furniture that I got from my office. It's like a little altar. I love it. I want to build an actual altar, but I don't know what that looks like yet. So it's a good place for all that stuff now. And I also have like they're not beehives, but they are like hornet nest and yellow jacket nest in there too that I collected from the backyard. I love this life. I love this life so much. I love this life. Unlimited love. Here we go. So I'm carrying this heavy energy. Here comes Friday. I have committed to driving to Colorado Springs, which is an hour and 45 minutes from where I am one way, and taking one of my campers from Adam's camp out to lunch. She wanted to show me her favorite sushi restaurant that did unlimited sushi for lunch. And I was so excited to do this with her. And I was carrying this heavy energy, and it was like all week, I was like, it's going to feel so hard to drive all the way to Colorado Springs and to drive back, because I was just like not in a place of really being with and around other people besides myself and Nick. And I needed to go. It was like something that I'm so grateful that I went and had the experience. Something that I did to make it feel more aligned was I reached out to another friend who I have through my mindset work, and who we've now met in real life 3 times. And she's such an awesome human. I love her so much. And she's near and dear to my heart. And I texted her and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in Colorado Springs. Can you do coffee? And I ended up going to her house, and I had a cup of tea, and we just sat and chatted, and I got to meet her dog and her mom and her son, and just see more of her life. And we have such amazing conversation, and it's so interesting to just listen to each other like conversate, and where it's awesome. It's really awesome. And it was an amazing way. Okay. I don't, yeah. I don't know where I was going with the amazing way, but it was it was exactly what I needed, truly. She asked me what was going on, and I'm like, here are all of my balls that I've tossed into the air, and I just don't know what's going to stick. And she's like, well, why do you need to decide right now? And I'm like, thank you for the reminder. I guess I don't. And it helped me let go a little bit. It helped me release and like remind myself, like, yeah, I don't have to decide right now. I have clarity that I don't know what I want. And a little bit as that conversation went on, as I was talking, I don't even remember what I was answering or what in that moment we were talking about, but I said the words unlimited love. And the next thing that came out of my mouth was, yeah, that's it. That's the answer. Because that is the answer. That's the answer. That is what a better standard direction is. It's unlimited love. A better standard direction is unlimited love. It is teaching people how to first love themselves. And I'm saying unlimited, and maybe it's meant to be unlimited instead of unconditional. Holy shit. Unlimited love instead of unconditional love. Unlimited love is unconditional love. But love is unlimited. Love is infinite. We can always make more. Love is unlimited. And teaching people how to love themselves unconditionally creates unlimited love. When you are in the flow of loving yourself unconditionally and meeting yourself where you're at and showing up every day with grace and love and trust and knowing your worth, you are your highest self. You are your highest self now. Your highest self is you. And when you fully embody that and embrace that power and allow yourself to embody the highest self that is you, that already is there, the divine light that's inside of you, that is love, what you were created from, the light, the love, you are fully divine. And that light continues to grow and grow and grow. And light is fed by love, and love is light. And so as you continue to love unconditionally for yourself, then you learn how to love others unconditionally. When you only know what conditional love is, you cannot love yourself unconditionally unless you learn how, because what you know of love is conditional. And I am still learning how to teach on what my definition of unconditional and conditional love is. So stay tuned on that. That ties me back into my women's guidance facilitator offer. So, rewinding a little bit back to Friday, I had this epiphany. And then I went and picked up my camper for sushi, and it was just so wonderful. And she showed me her binder of art, and it was so beautiful. And I love being her friend. I love being able to go to lunch with her and sit with her in space and give her a safe space to be herself. It is beautiful. And I'm grateful for the connection that has come from my experience at Adams Camp in that way. Yeah. Fast forward to Monday. I am in my live facilitator training. It's 6 weeks long, and we meet on Zoom live for 2 hours as part of the program. And at the end of the session, the facilitator introduced our offering assignment that we have to do as part of this course. And what that means is essentially we have to create a 30-minute offering to practice what it would feel like to facilitate something into the world. The questions from this week's coursework, the reflection that I was able to do through this week's coursework just busted me wide fucking open. And then divine timing again on Wednesday. Today's Thursday. So yesterday, yesterday I went to a healing circle and connected with another person who is in the mindset world and is just launching their first coaching program, coaching live session. And she's giving away free coaching. And so after I looked at her and I was like, I want to be partners with her when we did our partner work. And it was a really awesome experience to connect with her. And then we connected afterwards. And I was like, I would totally be interested in doing a session. And so we just set a date to do a session next week, which I'm like, I don't meet very many people in the wild who do mindset work. And so it is very, very divine that we met, and we are in very similar place in our journey. And I am excited to see where the relationship runs to, like where it goes. Yeah. All of that being said, I have developed now a 30-minute offering around unlimited love. And yeah, I guess that's what I'll call it, is unlimited love. Unlimited love. Because that is what the root of it is. Unconditional love is just a piece of unlimited love. Yeah. Unlimited love also includes forgiveness and grace and worthiness and being enough and embodiment. There are so many pieces of unlimited love. Wow. I can't wait to listen to this back. This is going to be like a brainstorming session in itself, really. That's so fun. Sharing my gift with the world is my biggest honor. And yeah, I figured it out. I have figured it out. I figured out what my gift is. I was reflecting this week at my walk after therapy. On the weeks that I can, I go to the park that's right next to the therapist's office and walk the park. And it's 2.25 miles and it's a wonderful walk. And it's a great way to decompress after therapy. And I talk out loud to myself as I walk. I walk and talk. And it's a really great way for me to process and reflect. I highly recommend it to anybody. It's amazing. Walking and talking. Even with yourself. Like, I highly encourage you to try it by yourself. There's just the conversation you have with yourself is different. And I encourage you to try it if you've never tried it before. So as I was walking and talking, I was reflecting on what was I just talking about? Yes. When I was a child, I thought I didn't have a purpose. I didn't understand why I was alive. And as young as I can remember, I was, okay. I'm going to play the song Fat by Kate Yeager. And when I was young, I was told I was fat. And I was taught how to love myself conditionally because my body was not exactly the way that society wanted it to be. And that conditional love around that my body had to look and be a certain way in order for me to be loved, accepted, like fit in the right clothes, be the right person, know the right jokes, say the right things, embody who other people wanted me to embody. Weight was a huge stem of that in my childhood. And it was in a lot of women specifically and men. It was kind of just my generation, truthfully. Like the way diet culture was in the early 2000s, like this song by Kate Yeager and I are very similar in age. And a lot of people that I talk to who have experienced diet culture in that era, this song is really relatable. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to sing to it because that's probably just what's going to happen. So let's do it. I was 12 and a half, the first time a boy called me fat. We were at a dance, my hair was down. Jason came and asked me out as a joke, and all his good friends laughed. I wonder if he ever thinks about that. Didn't know how to hate myself till I learned it from someone else. Didn't see what was wrong with me, just lived in my body. Didn't best to lose the weight, nothing I heard would go away. But damn, skinny jail's just the same. I'll always carry it in my body. Grandma paid me by the pound, said I should try to slim it down. Went to meetings with my mom. The less I ate, the more they applauded. Being hungry made me feel so proud. I'm still not 4 years, 10 years out. Didn't know how to hate myself till I turned it from someone else. Didn't see what was wrong with me, just lived in my body. Did my best to lose the weight, hoping the hurt would go away. But damn, skinny feels just the same. I'll always carry it in my body. Reading what Jason said, all the comments from my mom and dad, none of it was ever even mine. I could have lived my whole life just fine. Know how to hate myself till I learned it from someone else. Didn't see what was wrong with me, just lived in my body. Didn't miss to lose the weight, hoping the hurt would go away. Didn't see girls just the same. I'll always carry it in my body. I'll always carry in my body. I was 12 and a half the first time a boy called me fat. Oh. Have you heard that song yet? It is incredibly powerful. Not every experience that she has had is the same as my experience, but there are some that are so paralleled that this song is so powerful for me. It gives a voice to how it felt to grow up in the era of that diet culture. Diet culture has existed for, I used to teach it in history, in American history, of like what original diet culture was like. And I can't remember the year off the top of my head, but diet culture's changed a lot over the last, I know, at least 50 years, longer. I want to say 1920s, but like maybe even, I don't know. I need to do some more research about that, clearly. But growing up in the diet culture age that I grew up in, I did go to meetings with my mom and I was applauded for losing weight. And I would tell stories about like how it felt to lose weight. And in 8th grade, I was celebrating that for the 8th grade dance, I got to wear a dress that I wore to a wedding when I was in 5th grade. And I was applauded by a room of women who were middle-aged or older. And they were congratulating me on fitting in something that my child body had grown out of. And food was changed and controlled and manipulated in my life at a very young age. And this song puts words to that. this song gives that a voice. And I've healed my food trauma, my diet trauma, and I live in a way that makes me feel good now. And I still carry shame in my body around food and body image and the way I live in this body, and how I know that, and I still feel that this is not the body that, like, I want to strengthen this body. I want to be stronger. And there's still more work to be done around my body and my mind with my body, and a lot of healing work to be done. But this song feels so good to sing. So I high key recommend, if you grew up in an era where this resonates, like, scream this shit out in the car. Feels so good. I hadn't actually listened to the full song until earlier tonight, but now it's definitely going on my 2023 playlist. Appreciate that. Yeah. Fuck, unconditional love. And that's the thing, is some of my healing work is to go back to that childhood self and to envision my older self sitting with her. And now that I embody a name that is different than my childhood self. My first name is Alyssa, and I go by ABSD now. I introduce myself in place as ABSD. When someone asks me for my name, I tell them ABSD. And it is something that I have integrated into my life slowly over the last few months, but have been referring to for over a year now, since really I opened my travel agency and called it ABSD Travel. But ABSD stands for Alyssa Barker Sweeney Deloach, but it also stands for a better standard direction. And as a better standard direction is still developing, its greatest theme is unlimited love. A better standard direction is unlimited love, and teaching people how to love themselves unconditionally, and in turn, learning how to love unconditionally to others and create unlimited love. Continue to just like make more love. Love is infinite. You can't run out of it. You can always make more. Man, that was a line that the mom in Twitches 2 says to Cameron. We just watched those movies for Halloween, and I wrote it down, and I've said it probably 10 times since we watched the movie yesterday. Yeah. 2 days ago, I guess. Yeah. I love this life. I love where just like sparkles of inspiration and quotes that are just like fucking magical come to be. I love sharing in this space when my brain is firing in this way. And it can be just like thousands of thoughts in a single episode. But that's just truly my brain when it's on rapid fire. And I love it. There's so many cool thoughts come out of my brain. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Instead of apologizing for it, embracing it, that feels good. Yes. That's something I definitely want to teach on, is how to stop apologizing for just like existing. There are so many people who apologize for existing. And it's like, no, like I had a professor in college who just pointed out how often, especially women, say sorry, and how we will apologize for things that are just normal human existence things, for being there, for existing. And I have integrated into my life since then, because she would call us out in class and she would make it known and she would help us learn to stop doing that. And so now when I apologize to someone, I mean it. And that feels good. That does feel good. But I don't know where I was going with that. Another tangent. Before we log off for today, I got a sexy new haircut. And oh my gosh, can I tell you the serendipity of my hairstylist? Is that the preferred terminology for someone who cuts hair? Let me know. I was doing some shopping on Facebook Marketplace and I saw a mirror that I liked and I messaged for it and I went to go pick it up and it was inside of a hair salon that was being broken down. And she's like, yeah, I'm opening a salon in my home. And I'm like, oh, cool. I just moved here and need someone to cut my hair. And we exchanged information and I just like, she messaged me her phone number and we made an appointment and then I got my haircut today. How fucking serendipitous. Thank you, God, angels in the universe. And she did an amazing job. And her home salon is amazing. And I felt so comfortable. And her dogs were amazing. And yeah, it was a good time. And I love my haircut. And it was banging. It was awesome. I'm grateful. Really grateful. Grateful for the serendipity that exists in this life. And I lean into inviting more and more into it, into my life, of serendipity into my life. Y'all, it's 7:27. Of course it is. I just screenshotted it on the clock. I've been seeing 727 a lot recently. And I'm very into angel numbers now. And so when I see a number very consistently, I will look up what it means. And there is a website that I used to do that. I'm going to share what it means. That's fun. Angel number 727 is an indication that positive news will enter your life in the very near future. This may be something that you've been waiting to hear for some time now. Take this new information and use it to your advantage and for the benefit of others. Angel number 727 is also an important message from your angels to get on with living your personal truths. You are being encouraged to serve your life purpose and soul mission with your passion and persistence, knowing within that you are on your right life path. The angels encourage you to continue on your current path. Angel number 727 is a message to continue listening to your inner wisdom and the guidance from the angels regarding the next steps along your spiritual path. Be still, listen to your higher self, and pay attention to the revelations you receive intuitively. Look out for signs, synchronicities, and omens, and take notes of your gut feelings or inner knowings. Maintain a positive attitude and outlook, and know that you are well blessed by the angelic and spiritual realms. So that one feels really awesome. And also, like, thank you, spirits and angels, for communicating that message with me. And whenever I see a number that is a number that has significance to me or that I'm seeing often, I say thank you, and I will screenshot or try to take a picture of where I see the number. You can't always capture it, but it's a good way to begin recognizing what numbers you're seeing often. Numbers that don't have as much significance to me, I have to see them a few times before I start to like catch on. But that's how our angels like and spirits know to communicate with us. They use license plates, they use the time, they use phone numbers on trucks, they use just numbers on everything. Like there's a bus stop by our house that is like the most significant number to me. And I like the day I saw it was like, what the fuck? That number is right there. I find numbers everywhere, like street addresses, phone numbers. You'll just see, like, you see numbers everywhere. If you just start paying attention, you see numbers everywhere. And like when you see a number that is significant to you, say thank you. So some significant numbers to me is my birthday, is the year I'm going to be elected to be president, which they're interchangeable. It's 23 and 32, which I love that they are interchangeable. So I see 223 a lot. I see 323 often. I see 332. I see a lot of combos of 23 and 32 often. And I also just see 23 and 32 all the fucking time. It's amazing when that happens. I love angel numbers, and a friend that I met in synchronicity at the yoga studio a few months back taught me to say thank you and to start paying attention to them more often, which has been really amazing. And I've begun looking for numbers in different ways and have found numbers that are in my life that have always been there, and it's cool to see. Y'all, this has been such a good one. And thank you for joining in the inner dialogue space. Thanks for sitting with me and being on this journey. I cannot wait to share what my offerings open up to be and how I teach unlimited love to the world. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful for the dinner that we had tonight and the conversation with dinner. I'm grateful for the work that I did in the basement today. And I found 8 dead mouse carcasses and 2 spines. And so far, I'm not done. And I'm grateful that I've handled all of that with ease and knowingness that I am doing the best that I can. And, you know, it is crusty and dusty and grody down there, but I am tearing it away each moment, each piece at a time, and we're clearing it out. It's pretty awesome. I'm cleaning it out. Said we. It's a me thing right now. Yeah, I got the movie room basically completely stripped, and that feels really good. So I am grateful for that work today. I'm grateful for just how amazing it was to go to get my hair cut in someone's home and the comfortability that I felt doing that. I'm grateful for finding more local community, more local community and more connections in town. I'm grateful for breakfast that I made this morning and sitting with Nick for breakfast as well. And the lunch that I had and just the space that I gave myself to explore different topics that I've had written down that I wanted to research, and the knowledge and learning that I've done from that. I'm grateful for creating a Better Standard Direction Instagram today and just claiming the tag and beginning to wrap my head around beginning a process of starting a new social media account and starting the journey of creating again in a thing that is my own. I love each and every one of you so much, and I am grateful for you. And go out, love loudly, take up space, be awesome, and know that I love you unconditionally, and that I hope I challenge you to go throughout your week somewhere and express to someone how much you love them. Have an awesome rest of your night. It is Thursday, November 2nd, 2023, 7:35 p.m. This is the Inner Dialogue Podcast. Signing off. I love you. ABSD. Bye.